The galaxy was peaceful, or at least it seemed that way. Far away from the shining worlds of the Galactic Council, humans lived quietly on their new colony, Nova Terra. They worked hard, built cities, and dreamed of a future where they could stand equal among the stars. But the other species never believed in them. To the alien empires, humanity was still young and weak. They called humans the talking apes and the emotional, reckless, and fragile. The Council often laughed whenever someone mentioned Earth or its colonies. But deep below the red deserts of Nova Terra, the humans were building something. A project so secret that even most Terrans didn't know its true name. The workers only called it Project Helios. Every night the ground would tremble slightly as engines tested in silence. A strange, low hum sometimes echoed through the underground tunnels, like the heartbeat of a giant sleeping under the planet's surface. One evening, a small human ship near the border vanished without warning. The aliens blamed pirates and ignored it, but the humans didn't. They had seen something, a shadow moving between the stars. Then the signal came, a burst of strange energy from the edge of Terran space. No one could explain it. The Galactic Council laughed again, calling it a human mistake. But somewhere deep under Nova Terra, red lights flashed across metallic walls. A woman in a dark command room whispered, "It's time," and far across the void, something ancient and massive began to awaken, a shape so large it blocked out starlight. The silence of space was about to break. The storm was coming. The Galactic Council met in their shining tower, above the planet Vorlon Prime. Holograms of alien leaders filled the air, glowing with pride. They discussed the strange energy signal near Terran space, but none of them took it seriously. Humans? One alien laughed. They can't even defend their borders. Another added, if they have found a new weapon, it will explode in their own hands. The chamber filled with cruel laughter. But on Earth, inside the Terran Fleet Command, the mood was different. Every monitor showed the same warning. Unidentified energy surge near Erebus 9. A female voice echoed through the control room. Admiral Aria Holt. Send a message to the Council, she ordered. Her words were calm but firm. Stay away from Sol territory. Do not cross the border. The message reached the Council and was ignored. An alien admiral named Sareth Vul decided to lead a lesson fleet toward the human colonies. 50 warships entered Terran space glowing with arrogance. They wanted to remind humans of their place. As the alien fleet passed the edge of Nova Terra, the stars began to fade behind a strange shadow. At first, they thought it was a moon. But the shadow moved, slow, deliberate, alive. Their scanners froze. Their communications cut. Every screen went black. Then a single voice came through the static. It was calm, cold, human. You mocked us. You shouldn't have. The message ended. In the silence that followed, Admiral Vul felt something he had never felt before. Fear. In the dark silence beyond Nova Terra, the shadow began to move. Slowly, like a mountain rising from the void, sensors on every alien ship blinked red. Their computers struggled to scan its size. It was too big, too complex. Admiral Sareth Vul stood frozen, his eyes wide. "What is that?" he whispered. No one answered. The object ahead was not a planet, not an asteroid. It was a ship, and it was alive. The surface of the giant vessel glowed with running energy lines, gold, blue and crimson, forming patterns no alien had ever seen. The ship's name appeared on their scanners for just 1 second before systems crashed completely. TSD Helios Prime, the Terran Super Dreadnought. Inside the command deck, Admiral Aria Holt watched in silence. She stood before a massive window, the red glow of the star reflecting off her uniform. "Power up the core," she said softly. Engineers began to shout across the deck. Lights flickered as the Helios Prime woke from its long sleep. Deep in the machine's heart, a sphere of pure energy began to spin. The Helios core, a human creation said to bend light itself. Outside, the alien fleet prepared to fire. Thousands of plasma cannons charged in unison. Vul gave the order, "Destroy it!" The darkness exploded into light. Beams of blue and orange fire struck the Dreadnought. But nothing happened. The Helios Prime didn't move. It just waited. Then one section of the ship's hull opened, revealing a massive cannon the size of a city. Arya's voice was calm. Fire. A single beam of light crossed space, and half the alien fleet vanished. The Dreadnought had spoken. The flash from the Helios Prime's weapon was seen across star systems. For a brief moment, it looked like a new sun had been born in space. Then it was gone, and so was half of Admiral Vool's fleet. The surviving ships spun out of control, alarms screaming. Pilots shouted for orders, but no one could hear over the noise. The Terran Dreadnought moved slowly through the burning debris, its hull glowing like molten metal. Inside the command deck, Admiral Arya Holt stood still, watching the destruction unfold. Her eyes showed no pride, only calm determination. "Send a message," she said. The communications officer nodded and began to transmit. Across the galaxy, screens flickered to life in markets, war rooms, and alien palaces. Every race saw the same message. Arya's face appeared, her voice steady. "We asked for peace. You answered with mockery. Now humanity speaks in a language you will understand." Silence followed. The council chambers erupted in chaos. The Valerian leaders shouted over each other, fear in their voices. One whispered, "If this is real, no empire is safe." Back in space, the Helios Prime charged its engines. The ship vanished into hyperspace, leaving a streak of light behind. Within seconds, it reappeared near Erebus Outpost, a major alien stronghold. The alien guards barely had time to react before the Dreadnought fired again. Entire defense fleets disappeared in a single beam of white light. For the first time in thousands of years, the galaxy felt powerless. Whispers spread through every world. The humans have built a god ship, and somewhere deep in space, the stars themselves seemed to tremble, as if afraid of what had just awakened. Panic spread through the galaxy like fire in dry grass. Every empire, every council, every ruler was afraid to sleep. The name Helios Prime echoed through the stars, a name once hidden in silence, now feared by billions. On Vorlon Prime, the Great Council gathered for an emergency meeting. Their voices trembled as they argued. "We must unite." One shouted, "Against what?" Another cried, "That thing destroyed fleets in seconds." Desperation filled the room. The same aliens who once mocked humanity now begged each other for help. But unity came too late. As the meeting continued, their sky darkened. The light above the tower flickered, and a massive shadow covered the city. It wasn't a storm cloud. It was the Terran Dreadnought. Inside the ship, Admiral Arya Holt stood at her command chair. "Open transmission," she said. Her voice echoed across every screen in the council chamber. "We warned you. You called us weak. You took our silence for fear." Outside, alien defense cannons fired in panic, but their shots vanished against the Dreadnought's shield. Arya's eyes narrowed. "Now you will see what silence truly means." The Helios Prime's main weapon charged once more. A sphere of light grew larger, brighter, until it swallowed the horizon. In one blinding flash, the Council's capital vanished, gone without a sound. Across the galaxy, the message spread faster than light. "The Terrans have spoken. The age of mockery is over." Admiral Vool, watching from a distant outpost, fell to his knees. For the first time he understood. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was patient, and now that patience had ended. The war was over. Worlds that once ruled the stars now lay silent and broken. The Galactic Council was gone, its towers turned to dust. And floating near a dying sun, the Terran Super Dreadnought, Helios Prime, drifted quietly through the void. Inside, only a handful of lights still glowed. The great ship had fought too many battles. Its armor was cracked, its engines dim, yet it still stood, unbroken, undefeated. Admiral Arya Holt walked across the silent bridge. Screens flickered with faint signals of peace, surrender messages from alien worlds. She looked out at the stars, her reflection shining faintly on the glass. Her voice was soft. "We didn't want this war, but they left us no choice." A young officer approached her. "Ma'am, should we broadcast the final message?" Arya nodded. "Yes, let them all hear." Across the galaxy, every communication channel came alive. Billions of eyes turned to their screens as a single human voice echoed through the stars. "We came in peace. You mocked our kindness. You called us weak. But when we rose, you trembled. Remember this day, not as the fall of your empires, but as the day humanity found its voice." The transmission ended. For a moment, the galaxy was silent again, Outside, the Helios Prime turned slowly toward the dying sun. Its massive silhouette glowed in the golden light, like a titan returning home. Arya closed her eyes and whispered, "Let the galaxy rest." The Dreadnought vanished into the light, leaving only a whisper across the stars. They mocked humanity, until the Terran super Dreadnought spoke.